Hello. Well, with both the Dubai Air Show in the UAE and the World Defence Show in Riyadh rapidly approaching, no wonder defence is high on our agenda. I'm delighted to bring under the spotlight today former top-ranking US Army officer and a Middle East specialist at the Pentagon, Brigadier-General Joseph Rank, who's now the Chief Executive for Lockheed Martin in Saudi Arabia and Africa. Joe, welcome to the programme.
Thank you so much, Alan. I appreciate it.
Now, Joe, you were defence attache for the US in the UAE, Jordan, Lebanon and Yemen, so you know the area and its geopolitics well. But what about Lockheed Martin? How long has Lockheed Martin been involved in the kingdom, for example?
Great question. Coincidentally, the same year I was born, which is 1965. So that I'm telling you my age, 58 years. So Lockheed Martin has been here 58 years with our classic C-130 Hercules. It's a beautiful airplane. It's not a fighter jet, but I love it because it's the plane that I've jumped out of as a paratrooper. It's a beautiful plane, the C-130.
And you've got a number of other interesting programs as well, of course. Tell us a bit about what you're actually providing in Saudi Arabia in terms of product.
Sure. Well, it is a long list. Well, of course, I mentioned C-130. We have over 50 of those here, have over 100 Black Hawk helicopters, also an iconic Lockheed Martin platform. We have radars, which radars you usually don't see so much around, but they're absolutely critical, particularly against the counter drone and counter missile threats that the kingdom has. You know, it's been under threat for a while from Houthi missiles. So those are a number of key areas where we support the kingdom. Another area is PAC-3 or Patriot missiles. Most people think of Patriot missiles as Raytheon, and they are, but we make what I would call the higher end Patriot PAC-3 missile, which is bullet on bullet. So it's missile on missile, and essentially when our missile hits the other missile, it vaporizes it essentially.
I think this demonstrates the strength of the US and Saudi as allies. But things are changing in the kingdom, aren't they? And there's a strong call for visible links with a real focus on localization and partnerships through Vision 2030. So just how is Lockheed adapting to that approach?
Yes. So what I like to say is in the past, we used to sell products, the products that I shared with you. But today, what we're doing is we're partnering with local firms to actually build content in the kingdom. And it's pretty exciting. Some of the platforms are sensitive, so I can't say which ones, but let's say they're very important ones where we're building, again, sensitive things. There's a number of companies we're working with. AEC, which is part of SAMI. We also work with AIC Steel, which is down in Jeddah. And we also work with a number of other companies. So it's the paradigm has shifted to just selling things to the kingdom to actually producing content here.
Yeah, I guess it also goes deeper than that in bringing on talent and supporting a future workforce.
That's right. There's more talent here than anywhere else, if nothing else, just by the numbers. But I mean, I've met families where you've had three like generations of PhDs. Extremely smart and talented people. There is a war for talent going on. We're fortunate that we're so far doing pretty well. This summer we had an exciting program where we had three Saudi female engineer interns, where we were working on a project using artificial intelligence to detect flaws in paint that's applied to aircraft, particularly in aircraft. You know, when you're flying, you know, at whatever speeds, faster than the speed of sound, that paint has to be really secure. So as opposed to using just eye visualization, we were using artificial intelligence, and they actually, some of the things that they helped us discover are being now used by Lockheed Martin.
Joe, you talked about products and services, but what about space? I know that's high on Saudi's agenda.
Well, space is really an exciting proposition in the region. Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, has declared that this is going to be a priority. We've had the opportunity to partner already with the kingdom on a very secure communications satellite, which I think is just the first of many opportunities that we're hoping to have in the kingdom.
Well, that all sounds great. Well, thank you for telling us the Lockheed Martin story. Brigadier General Joe Rank, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you at the Dubai Air Show.